In a minute. Back home media. Good evening. Welcome to Growing Garden City. It is Sunday, August 30th. I am your host, Kent Williams, and with me tonight is my good friend, Janene Radke. Welcome back to the show, Janene, or I guess you've been here and I've missed. And
Yeah, well, this is the first time. We're probably a little rusty. This is the first time we've actually hosted the show together for a while. So.
Absolutely. Yeah, but it's good to be back. We've had some wonderful weather here in Garden City over this last weekend. Yesterday, so it's 70 degrees and overcast and just gorgeous, and a little warmer today. It looks like it's going to get a little warmer again for the next week before we hit into those fall temperatures.
Yeah, we've been kind of spoiled with the 70-degree weather yesterday. It was nice out. So it's good to be back. I'm glad to be back and ready to go again. So
So the last time you and I got to talk, you had the coronavirus, or we're overcoming it. How's that going for you guys? Are you still coughing? Any symptoms there a couple weeks later?
Just a little bit tired. I get tired pretty easy. So back to getting pretty close to back to normal, I think. So it just takes a little while, I think, for it to work its way through your system. So
And Mike is back to work, feeling good, and
yeah, they start school tomorrow. First day of school here, and so he has half a day of that, and he's been doing football practice. So yeah, he's doing really well. So
good.
How's your family doing?
We're doing great. We're gearing up. School starts in Garden City tomorrow, so we're gearing up for that. We've chosen to do the remote learning through USD 457, which it seems like a lot of people have. I think there are maybe more students doing online remote than going to the brick and mortar buildings. Would you know?
Quite a few. I think last time I heard, I'd seen there were around a little over 600. 700 maybe that were doing the remote, and then there's a number of kids that are doing the blended, and then there's also still a number of people that are going in person. So I just really like that there's the options to be able to, for parents to choose to go different ones, even down to the little bitty ones, the pre-kinder ones, the early childhood, they have remote learning options as well. So I think it'll be a good year. It'll be interesting to kind of see how everything goes. But I think the only way we're going to know is if we get in there and try it and see what happens.
So, yep. Yeah. So I did see the school district released a level chart, where we were at and how the schools were going to operate. Can you talk a little bit about that? I think there were 6 levels.
Yeah, there are 6 levels. And so the first level would be like everything is just normal, no coronavirus ever existed and everybody's going back in. As you work through the levels, they get a little bit more restrictive or a little bit more protective measures in place. So the kids are going in at a level 3. Which masks are required. They will have mask breaks, of course, during the day. There's plenty of PPE for the school district. So if kids come in and they've forgotten a mask or, different things like that, then they'll have something for them to wear. The more you go, as you go more, so the level 4 would be a blended learning level. Level 5 is going to be one that would be all of remote. So it'll depend. There's a number of factors that they're using to make those determinations. Looking at things that are going on in the community, like how many positive cases have arisen, how many people are in ICU, how many people are in the hospital, what kind of capacity the hospital has to deal with the cases that we have going on, how many people in buildings, are out. how many teachers we have available, how many students are quarantined, different things like that they're going to be looking at. So it's not an easy system that they're looking at, but it'll be one that I think is going to be working to keep kids as safe as possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I know there's staggering lunch hours and things like that too, and recess for the younger kids. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Of course, if you across the nation, you see the colleges that have come out and have had things, but you've seen success stories too, where they've been in school. So hopefully that happens for our kids here in Garden City.
Yeah, the KU I saw yesterday, they had well over 400 cases that were positive, which
Yeah.
seems like it's just a crazy amount, but I think that's going to be kind of normal.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to be shifting back and forth between levels. We're going to see, places going remotely. We're going to see kids going back into the classroom. And I think even here in Garden City, it's going to look at varying from building to building even.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's see. We have on tonight's show, Miles of Smiles. Joining us is Carrie, Ellison, and Makenzie next. We're pretty excited to talk to them a little bit later in the show this evening. Miles of Smiles is an excellent program, and I'm super excited to talk about horseback riding and all that fun jazz. As we said, we've been off for a couple of weeks with the different things, so we're looking at getting a little bit more consistent on Sundays with you guys, and maybe doing some pre-record interviews that we can stick out during the week with some things. We're going to make some changes, and it should be fun, should be good for the community, so we're super excited for that. But coming up in Garden City, according to Facebook, we've got on September 5th, which is this Saturday, the traveling comic book stores rolling through the Clarion Inn. It's a free admission show. There's 100 long boxes worth of comics ranging from $1 to key issues. Loose and boxed toys, graphic novels, mangas, bundled sets of comics, magazines, cards, everything you can find at a comic book store. And that's going on here in Garden City at the Clarion Inn this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. So that sounds like fun.
Mike's super excited about that. He collects comic books. He's got well over 3,000 of them. So
yeah. I think it's hosted, I think Tony down at the comic book store here in downtown Garden City is a big part of that as well. So if you have questions, get a hold of Tony down at the comic book store, which is right next to Traditions.
Yeah, it's right next to Traditions down there.
Yeah,
so
yeah. Pretty neat.
On Saturday at 7:00, they have the Hidden Trail Brewing business plan outline. So Hidden Trail Brewing is a new brewery that's in the process of being opened and planned. And so they're having an informational type event, and they'll have some silent auction items and some information for people looking for more people to invest and looking at how they're going to be building that business up. So we're hoping to be able to get them to come on the show one of these times. We've tried, and just some timing issues have come up. So we're looking at having them on the show at some point in time to talk a little bit more about that. So I think that's pretty exciting to have in town too.
Absolutely. I'm super excited about the food trucks that are going to be down there. I know there's going to be some games and things like that. It's a younger generation that's starting this one. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. Just a whole different idea, something Garden City's never seen as far as like a restaurant bar goes, or much less a brewery. So anything that we can build here is just exciting, and it's just really exciting to see after the whole pandemic and coronavirus going on that we still have things coming in and that are building up. So I'm anxious to see how that's going to go. Yeah, absolutely. So on Tuesday, September 1st from 12 to 1 p.m., there is a lunch and learn session at the Garden City Steakhouse. Tracy Mann, who is running for U.S. Senate. Is that right? Is it Senate? Yep.
He's running for the Big First.
For the Big First. He's the Republican nominee for the Big First. He'll be at, looks like, the Garden City Steakhouse from 12 to 1, and that's Tuesday, September 21. So if you'd like to get out and meet the candidate, and learn a little bit about his platform, that would definitely be something that you want to do. You can grab a great steak at Garden City Steakhouse, baked potatoes. They've got all sorts of good stuff, hot pot roast sandwiches. We need to get in there and holler at Tammy and maybe get some samples with the
Yeah,
menu.
there we go. There we go. On Wednesday the 2nd, there's a chronic disease self-management. There's one it's a really kind of a cool class that goes through different methods that you can do if you have any kind of like a chronic disease, diabetes, any kind of a chronic pain management that they can go through. At 10 o'clock in the morning, they have a Spanish class that starts at Genesis Family Health. And then at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, USD 457 will be doing that one. So that's a really great class if you deal with that kind of issue, or you know somebody that does. Take advantage of it and go to that and see what it's all about.
Absolutely. First Friday Art Walk is coming up Friday, September 4th at 4 p.m., hosted by Garden City Arts. And they are very excited to bring back a new round of talented artists downtown. Participants can come and go at their own leisure. At each art stop between listed hours, admission is free for all locations and everyone is welcome. Art stops and times and their locations are as follows. Patrick Dugan's will be from 4 to 5:30, the courthouse from 5 to 7, High Plains Public Radio from 5 to 7, Garden City Arts from 6 to 8 p.m. And this all goes down on Friday, September 4th. So looking forward to that, getting back out downtown. The Art Center always does some great programs down there, from the sidewalk chalk art designs that they had just about a month ago, I believe. They do pickup bags and online classes and all sorts of just fun stuff at the arts department. So if you're interested there, get a hold of Guthrie's the first last name. Katie Guthrie. At Garden City Arts or Maddie C Photography.
Yeah. So also on Friday night from 6 to 7:30, they're going to have live music at the Shack. Indie folk artist Anna P.S. It's going to be the first time that she's been able to really tour or to share any music since COVID. She hasn't been able to do anything since then. So that's kind of a cool event that will be fun to be able to go out, be outside in the fresh air, listen to some awesome music, and of course have the fantastic cuisine that they have over at the Shack. Preston's done a great job with that, and
Yes.
It's just a fantastic place to be able to go and take your family and get some great food and listen to some great music.
Yeah, absolutely. Even during the week, it's nice just to go up. They've got the picnic tables set up everywhere. It's just like an old-fashioned picnic, except for you get a gourmet sandwich and maybe a snow cone, and it's really awesome for Garden City to have that type of cuisine. We really don't have, that Mediterranean type spin that they're doing up there.
Yeah.
So it's awesome. If you haven't been there, definitely try that out. That's it's Wham's Snow Cone Shack and Preston Sandwich Shop right across from Dean Wiley off of Mary.
Yeah, and you can DoorDash it now.
Oh, can you? I did not know that. Wow.
Yeah.
Moving on up. I'll have to. I do DoorDash quite a bit during the week, so we'll have to do that for sure.
I do too. It's easier than leaving sometimes for lunch.
And for the littles that don't have school tomorrow, or if you're still interested, story time at Lee Richardson Zoo's at 10:30 a.m. Again, that is at 10:30 tomorrow. And this will be outside on the lawn in front of the giraffes, and there's that new baby giraffe down there that's just so cute.
Wow.
So they will be doing take-home crafts. They do practice social distancing. They ask that you bring your own blankets or towels to sit on. And it's, based on whether the weather will be nice, which I'm sure it will be in Garden City tomorrow. So,
yeah. Do you see anything else?
No, I think that's a pretty jam-packed week for Garden City. There's always a little bit of something for everybody to do. You can find these events and more on Facebook, Twitter, any social media page. If you have questions, you can get a hold of us, and we through our Facebook page. Just send us a direct message, and we'd be happy to do that. So we are brought by, we forgot to mention our parent company earlier, Back Home Media. We're brought to you by Back Home Media. Back Home Media, you can find them online at backhomemedia.com. They offer a variety of entertaining podcasts like Growing Garden City, including Kansas Missing and Unsolved, some music podcasts, Sprout and Dusty Show and Aether, mental health, Something's Wrong. There's some adult shows, the Derek Rutherford Show,
Easy Out.
Sports. We have Easy Out and In the Free Zone with Norm, which covers Keisha Sports. So a little bit of something for everybody there. They offer website design and upkeep, social media management, IT support, logo design, just about anything that you would need in the digital age. Back Home Media would do. So if you have any interest in website support, IT support, Facebook, or social media management, don't hesitate to get a hold of Back Home Media at backhomemedia.com or send us a direct message. We are gearing up to do some advertising spots as well. So get a hold of us for that. We'd love to feature your business, or if you'd like to come on and just be a guest on the show and feature your business and talk about what you do here in Garden City, we would love to have you on as well.
Yeah. Also, if you're interested in doing a podcast yourself and you want to know how to start or just thinking about some things that we can add for podcasts as well, please give us please let us know. Go to our backhomemedia.com, or you can send Candy or I a direct link, and we can set you up with Back Home Media to be able to help you into that progress.
Absolutely. So tonight on the show, we have Miles of Smiles.
Yeah, we have Carrie Ellison and Makenzie next. So,
welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey. Hi, guys.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you? Thank you guys for having us on.
Well, thank you for joining us tonight. So it looks like you're in a barn. Must be awfully hot.
It's we finally the sun went down. We're getting a little bit of a breeze, so it's a little less hot. But it's a little sticky in the barn here today. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So who's the third guest with us tonight?
That's Hickory.
Harry?
And Hickory is
Hickory. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And he is tired of being tied up. We wanted to make sure he got in the shot, and he's ready just like to go and eat and drink. So he might make some noise back there, but
awesome.
That's okay.
So again, welcome to the show. Carrie, if you wouldn't mind, we'd like to start with you. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
All right. So my name's Carrie Ellison. I've been in Kansas for only about 3 years. We travel with the oil and gas fields. I'm originally a cowgirl rancher family from Wyoming, so been around a little bit, and then moved here. I've been in the car business for 10 years, and I actually do aromatherapy on animals and horses, and somebody from Miles of Smiles saw me doing aromatherapy on a horse and asked me to come on board here on the board. And after about a year, they asked me to become the executive director. And so that's what I am here. I'm the executive director. I run all the, make sure that the lessons are ready, do the events, the special events. I'm getting volunteers together, just daily operations, things like that.
Awesome. What dealership are you at, Carrie?
Oh, I haven't been at dealership in a long time. No, I've ran dealerships all over, actually.
Okay.
I take them when they're maybe not doing as hot, and I get them to where they're doing good, and then I say bye.
There you go.
But now, no, living the dream. Besides doing this, I'm at home and I garden and can and just enjoy the Southwest Kansas life.
Yep. Awesome. And Makenzie, welcome to the show. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm from Garden City. I think moved here when I was young. Graduated high school here. Went to Hayes, did the whole college thing, worked in Hayes for a while, and then I moved home. And Miles of Smiles was one of the reasons I actually decided to move home. They were looking for an instructor. Things were kind of changing here at the program. So that was 4 years ago. I decided to come back here. So I've been working here for 4 years. I've been working at a chiropractic office. I'm also a health coach for them, but I actually start a new job tomorrow with the state of Kansas. So I'm really excited about that. But
awesome.
Otherwise, just doing some health coaching and then with the office and then working here at the barn as an instructor.
Very good.
No. That's incredible. So tell us a little bit about Miles of Smiles and what you guys do.
So we were founded in 1997 by Joyce Adams, and I think Ellen Lynn had a little bit of a say in that as well. There was a few other people. The story I know is that they actually started. They didn't start here at the property we have now. They started at the fairgrounds, from what I understand. People loaded up saddles and their tack in the trunk of their car and drove down there after work and just took a couple people horseback riding. So that's how they got started. We moved here, I think, in the 2000 sometime is when we got this facility that we're at now. And actually, thanks to the FinUp Foundation, they paid off our mortgage through a grant in like 2008 or 2009, somewhere around in there.
Wow.
So we are actually really lucky to have the facility that we have. So we're in the stall barn right now. But we have a full arena that is actually heated, so we can have some lessons in the winter time. And then in 2016, we added on an office to the arena and a covered tack area. And so that was finished right before I came. So I'm really thankful for those people before me that put in all that work for fundraising and building and all that stuff to put that together. So that's a little bit about our program. We serve anybody over the age of 4, and we serve people with disabilities. And I say that term lightly because we serve a wide range of people. So they have to be 4 years old, and they have to have some sort of diagnosis. So we see people, we see a lot of autism, but we also are starting to see more of like trauma, and we have some new programs going on with that. But there's a lot of different things that we can do with horses. And a lot of it is still being researched. So what we do know is that horses and humans can have quite the connection. And it's actually, people ask me all the time, why should my kid ride, or my friend, or whoever? And I honestly answer, I don't know, because I don't know what that horse is going to do with a connection with the person. So it's actually really cool. There's a lot of research being done right now with autism and therapeutic riding. So we do therapeutic horseback riding and then equine assisted learning. So it's not traditional therapy, but we can work with somebody's doctor and see what they're looking for and what they're looking to improve in their life. So cool thing about horses is their gait is the same as our gait. And so somebody that's like a quadriplegic or a paraplegic is still getting that walking motion when they're sitting on a horse. So that's really cool. But we do a lot of different things. There's a lot of different things that can come from therapeutic riding.
So can you talk a little bit about what you mean about that connection with the horse?
Yeah.
I get goosebumps just talking about it sometimes.
I usually cry, so it's okay.
It's just, it just really depends on the person. So maybe like troubled youth, like they just need a connection. Like they just need to be understood. And sometimes there's this connection of like, I don't know what your past is, and I don't know who you are, but I'm going to love you anyways. And that is truly, that is what it is between
trust.
It's trust. We can build a lot of self-confidence with a horse, just working from groundwork, just getting to know a horse, petting them, grooming them,
Simple as looking in their eyes, really.
Yeah. Looking in their eyes. Just a lot of self-confidence comes from that. And then just working up from there. A horse doesn't judge you unless you're mean to them, and usually still not even going to judge you then. So it's an interesting process. So one story I like to tell is like I had a kid who had autism, and I feel like the kid was really just misunderstood. Just really struggling at school. He was maybe 4 or 5 at the time. He was just really struggling, and parents were struggling. And I mean, autism is just, there's just a lot of research being done right now. We just don't know everything. And so they were trying to potty train, and he couldn't go to school till he was potty trained. And he, for whatever reason, when he sat on a horse, something connected in his brain, and he said potty. And that was
Really?
our first lesson. And so it was like, I don't know, for whatever reason, he could just relax for just 10 minutes and just ride, and it just shut something off. I don't know what it was in the brain, but so that's just one example of, it's a weird connection. I can tell you that.
So when the kids come down, do you guys have a set route that you guys ride on? Is it just on a piece of land? Do you go through the river? How's that work?
We do. We mainly ride in our arena. So, and we serve kids and adults. So, it's every class is a little bit different. We do some people come down individually for just groundwork. They might not ride at all. But we usually ride in the arena. We also have an outdoor arena. So we can do a little bit different things. It just depends on the class and what that class is needing. So maybe they're working on fine motor skills. So maybe we're going to set up games where they have to grab something off their horse and put it on their saddle, or on their horse or something like that. So it really just depends. Every lesson is different.
And we had actually just put together a sensory trail.
Yeah.
Right before COVID started, so we haven't even got to use our sensory trail yet. So there is a sensory trail set up outside, and we'll use that for that. And then as far as just like what the regular lessons are that we've always worked with since 1997, we've just transitioned and partnered with Family Crisis just a few weeks ago, and we're working with sexual abuse victims and domestic assault victims, and those are going to be just groundwork. We're not even riding horses. We're just in what we would consider our setup room or whatever, and they're just getting to know that horse, and they're just building that trust. And when someone's able to build that trust, you would be amazed what happens when a woman or a man can put their hand on a horse and start to pet it, and everything comes out. It just comes out. And so that's how different things are varying right now. And so we have complete setup lessons that Makenzie does. We have just, okay, let's go do this. And then we have some groundwork stuff. So there's lots of different stuff happening here at the barn.
Awesome. Yeah, it is amazing the therapeutic effect that, and a horse can have on a human being is just incredible. One of the things, so do you do like set up classes for people to do? Do you just have them call you for different things? How does that work?
We normally have set lessons. So we do ride a little bit in the summer, just depending on weather and stuff like that, and our riders. But we normally have set lessons in the spring and the fall that run for 6 weeks. And those are, we ride 3 nights a week for 2 hours at a time. So we have one class for an hour and another class for an hour. Those are about 4 riders per lesson. We do individual lessons as well. So if somebody's looking for something a little bit more individual, we do try to accommodate that. With barn schedules and personal schedules and stuff, sometimes, it's in the evening or a weekend or something like that. But yeah, it just really depends on what the rider is needing and can we accommodate them.
Yeah. And
especially with different disabilities.
We know there's a huge need right now, huge need for equine assisted learning, whether it be for PTSD, trauma, autism, physical disabilities. And so we are trying to grow that to where we're actually a functioning facility year round. But again, it takes skilled instructors like Makenzie, and they don't come all the time. So we actually have Makenzie as our lead instructor, and we have 2 other instructors. But her time is valuable, and she has another job as well. So just trying to have as many instructors on board as we can, and then volunteers. We are volunteer based 100%. As far as, for every lesson, when we have 4 riders, we need 12 volunteers for each session. And so getting out in the community and making sure that we bring on volunteers is extremely important. But I think actually after this pandemic has happened, more people are saying, wait, there's a lot that I can give back in all of this that's happening. And so we've actually seen a really big increase of people just calling and saying, hey, is there any need there? Can I just come brush a horse? Can I volunteer? And so we're hoping that all together, we would love to see this program run year round. We have an amazing facility. We have amazing horses, instructors as well. And so our goal is to get it running that way. PTSD veteran program kicking off soon. So between all the things that we're doing, I think year round is our goal.
Wow. 12 people per rider, you said.
Well, per lesson of 4. So every rider has 3 volunteers. So you have a leader and then 2 sidewalkers. We also have some volunteers that are just here just to get the horses and get them groomed and ready and saddled. So yeah, it takes a lot because some of our riders are very severely physically handicapped. We have a lift. So there's some riders that only need 1 volunteer, and there's some that need 3, sometimes even 4, depending on what type of night they're having. So it just depends. We would rather have more volunteers than not enough. So
gotcha. Is there an age requirement as far as the volunteers go?
14.
It's got to be 14.
Yep.
I think if they're under, is it 12 to 13?
They can do, yes.
Stays,
If a parent stays, they can help them. And there's always, there's so much work to do around here with all the horses. Even just stall work and feeding and helping groom and walk is something that a lot of people can do. I facilitate family tours and homeschool tours all the time with different people in and out, and they can be younger. But as far as actually getting out in the arena by yourself, we do prefer 14 over. So.
And a lot of the reason for that, we don't want our young kids coming in. That's not the case. But when you're walking beside an animal that is 1,200 pounds,
right,
and you have an adult rider out there, we have to be able to count on the sidewalker. If that person falls off for whatever reason,
they need to be able to handle it. Yep.
So.
Yeah. Well, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So what kind of a process do you have to become a volunteer? What kind of training or what do they have you do?
We do offer volunteer trainings. So especially for our major lessons, our spring lesson, our fall lesson, we offer two training dates. You only have to come to one. And if you can't come to one, we can do a private training. It's not a lot to go through. It's one night. So our first one is on the 17th. We have another one on the 19th. And the 17th is in the evening, 6:30.
6:30 to 8:30.
Yeah, and the 19th it starts at 10 o'clock. So if you can't make one of those, but you're still interested, just let us know. Facebook us, call us, leave a message, email us, whatever, and we'll get with you to set that private time up. But it's a 2-hour training. You get we teach you everything you need to know. So if you want to be around horses and you've never been around them,
you can still volunteer. Yep.
Yeah, great time to come down, teach you everything you need to know, teach you all the basics. It's a really fast class, but it's really fun. But in return for our volunteers, we do offer a volunteer riding session at the end. So if you come to so many lessons throughout throughout the season that we have, we offer people to come down on a Saturday at the end. Our board cooks lunch, and everybody gets to ride in,
it's fun.
30 minutes for an hour, whatever. We do have a horse trainer who's our facilities manager, but he's also a horse trainer, and he lives on site here to maintain our grounds. But he's there usually giving some horse lessons too, and tuning up, using that time to tune up on our horses too, because they get kind of lazy. So it's kind of good.
Very lazy, retirement lazy.
Yeah. So it's a fun time for volunteers, but a good way to give back to them too, because we really do appreciate them.
We do.
Awesome. So we know a little bit about Hickory. Well, we don't know anything about Hickory. What type of horse is Hickory?
Hickory is a quarter horse.
Yep.
He's a quarter horse, and he's a bay. I don't know much about Hickory. He's kind of new around here. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know a ton about him.
Yeah.
He was out working before we started, and it's really, really hot. And so he was already here. So that's why Hickory's in the background, because we weren't going to pull too many people around. The actual chatter in the barn was really loud before, and we were praying that it would stop, and thankfully it did, because everybody was talking. So Hickory was the least loud, so we put Hickory in the background.
How many horses do you guys have down there?
Currently, for therapy for our program horses, we have 5 geldings, which are male horses, if you don't know, and then 2 mares. We just took on our newest mare, Annie, about 2 months ago or something like that. So,
beginning of summer, I guess.
and she will be our youngest, and she's 18. I always mess that up.
Yeah,
and then our other mare is Ellie, and she's 28.
Yeah.
But they're all retired. All of our horses are donated, whether it be from feedlot cowboys, from some people had horses as, their teenagers had horses and they went off to college and they just didn't want to take care of. That's what happens in the barn when it gets late. They start talking.
He's mad.
No one's mad. They're just doing their thing.
Letting you know.
Actually, they're probably wondering why we have the lights on still, because it's late for them. So
Yeah.
But all of our horses are donated, and our horses, when they get here, generally are in you would consider a first term of retirement, sort of. We don't require a lot of our horses. We want our horses to be spoiled and taken care of. We have regular farriers that come and take care of their feet. We have our dentals on Tuesday. Everybody gets their dental check on Tuesday, and their vet check. She's actually a chiropractor coming too. She's going to check them out and see if anybody needs a little bit of work. So our horses are really spoiled and loved and taken care of. We'd like to consider it their first term of retirement, and then when they get so, okay, I'm just tired, that's when we say, okay, it's time for you to go. And and we just had to send 2, and they're just living life, south of town on a farm, and they'll be there until they're no longer there. But no, it's a great transition, and we're super blessed with the horses that we have right now, I think.
What's the typical lifespan of a working horse
Oh
in
gosh,
general?
30. Well, it depends. Working how?
Depends on how you take care of a horse,
Yeah.
for sure. So we just had a horse that was a part of our program for a few years, and then one of our old board members took him, and he was 30 this year, and we ended up putting him down a couple weeks ago, maybe like a month ago, I guess.
Yeah.
But he was still, I mean,
Just sweet.
yeah, he was still good. Working, I mean, it just really depends on what you're using your horse for.
The oldest horse ever has learned to be, or ever written down in history, was 52. I shared that in our last newsletter.
Yeah.
I don't even know. That's not normal, by the way.
Yeah,
But oldest ever 52. But I think normal 25 to 30.
Yeah.
Wow.
So if you have somebody that's kind of afraid to get on a larger animal, what do you say to them?
It's not just something we say; it's a whole process. So we would start just bring him down for a tour, let you see our program, maybe see somebody ride, meet a horse, and usually it's meeting a horse through a fence. Like they're not going to come out, they're not going to get you. They're just going to put their nose through there and touch
Give them a
their
treat.
nose. Just slow and steady. We might bring them back another time, and okay, now you can groom them. Now you can, play with them a little bit. Let's pick up their feet, clean out their feet, see that they're pretty well mannered, and then we can maybe work up, put a helmet on. Do you want to saddle your horse? So it's a whole process. It's not just like a one-time thing, but we usually start with the groundwork, very slow process. So let's just get you down here. And usually that's an instructor evaluating that rider too, to see what that rider needs. Are they screaming? Are they crying? It just, everybody is so different. And so it's really more an evaluation for us as well. So
Yeah, because there's people that go through that process in a month, and there's people that go through that process in a day. So it just depends. It's just working them through. That's why we focus so hard on making sure that we have really, really great, amazing instructors that know, no matter what this person acts like, they know how to take that rider or that client. And thankfully, so far, we've had 100% luck and great results.
So, are there any other animals at the barn, or is it just horses?
no, we just have horses. We do have some. So, like our facilities manager, he has some horses here, and then we have pens here for rent as well. That people in the community rent these pens. That's some income for us as well.
Don't let her get you wrong, though, because right now we're surrounded by cats. So we have lots of barn cats, and they're like laying and like wondering why. And then some dogs, got some dogs hanging around.
One of the cats
it was like jumping up, and we're like, get down, get down.
But no other than those, no other animals on our property.
Awesome.
Some people ask us. Somebody asked me if I would keep a goat down here. I'm like, I don't think our pens are secure for horses.
Yeah, not for goats. Yeah, not for
It
goats.
might be a mess.
Yeah,
They kind of climb on out, don't they?
Yes, they could. Yeah, we'd have goats running the office, which might be good sometimes. I'm not sure.
So we've talked.
But we've got lots of fun stuff happening down here.
So one of the questions I was asked to ask you guys is, can anybody participate down there, or do you have to have a diagnosis type?
Yes.
Well, we're opening up, so it.
Yeah. So when we say a diagnosis, maybe somebody just has some anxiety or, some sort of like mental health a diagnosis that doesn't make them disabled. It doesn't categorize them, I guess. You know what I mean? And so we still do have to have a doctor say something. Our program specifically is not just open to the public. We operate off of grants and stuff like that. So we're not just offering just horseback riding lessons.
Yep.
And to be honest with you, I'm not that good of an instructor to do just horseback riding lessons. Like, each one of our lessons have a goal. So we're not just getting on the horse and just walking around. We are doing
Learning.
a therapeutic horseback riding. So we are teaching them a skill, and each lesson, is building up their skills. So
Their body and their
yeah,
mental and physical.
yeah. So, but each lesson does have like a horsemanship skill that goes. The bugs are awful. Right
Sorry,
now.
I had to get that off.
Yeah. So
You're bad everywhere.
we do have.
Again, we're in a barn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if anybody is wanting some horseback riding lessons and they don't fit our criteria, we could definitely lead them in the right direction.
Right.
But we don't offer
Just
that
anybody,
as Miles as Smiles.
But then again, just starting with the trauma and everything, we have written grants to where we can intake those type of people with, and that's through Family Crisis that we're working with right now. So.
Yeah, I love that you guys are working with Family Crisis. That's an agency that's domestic and sexual violence is a cause that's near and dear to my heart. And so I love the fact that you guys are partnering together to work with these individuals.
It's been a perfect partnership, and the people that we've seen, even in the first night, it will as a spectator or a person from the outside it will bring you to your knees. It's something powerful, and we're just so happy that we were able to actually move forward with that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You guys are doing some incredible things in the community, and
thank you.
How can people find out more about you? Where do they go?
Facebook. We're trying to have some Facebook presence. We're Miles of Smiles on Facebook, or you could go to miles-of-smiles.org. And that
we did not create that website. That was created in like 1998 or something. I don't know. I tried to change
at the beginning of the internet.
Yes. But it's that way. So you can find out some stuff there. Or you can call our phone number 620-260-9997. I'm in the office 3 days a week for a few hours. We just, as the executive director, we're just small. But I'll always be checking emails and phone. We have a couple huge things coming up that we'd love to invite people to. First of all, our fall lessons are coming up. So if you are interested in volunteering at all on the 17th or 19th of September, show up. Call us, get registered to do that. It's a huge opportunity. It's only for 6 weeks, one night a week for 6 weeks. It will change your life, I promise you. We've got a Back the Blue event coming up. We decided as a board that it was incredibly important that we honored the Highway Patrol and Sheriff's Office and police department here in the area, in Lakin and Deerfield and Holcomb, because they're going through a lot, and we do know that we do want them to know that we appreciate them. So we're having a Back the Blue. We're just going to feed them and let them play horseshoes. Our riders are going to show them their horses, which I think is so special. Our riders are going to love to do that. And then we have our annual fundraiser. We had to cancel it because of COVID, but it's scheduled for October 24th. It's an Old West theme, so come dressed in all your Old West gear. We're having a costume contest, but you can call us and get tickets, or you can get tickets at True Value, Baker Boot, or Crazy House. And it's a great time. It's dinner and a live auction, silent auction, band. We have way too much fun. But even if you just want to come hang out, and even if you just want to, like I said, we do private lessons or private tours for families and homeschool groups, and we'll let you come and take out a horse and brush it and look around. And we just try to let people experience it as much as we can, because we understand that even in Southwest Kansas, not everybody's ever seen a horse before.
Sure. Yeah, I worked with a kid that moved here from Arizona, and we had to take a trip out to the country, and he was just, all the cows and stuff, he just kept gawking at him, what's up, dude? What are you doing? He's like, I've never seen a cow before. Right. And I'm like, for me, it was weird, so we stopped and listened to a moo and all that jazz, but it
just listened.
Yeah, just that experience for him was huge. So I couldn't imagine what it would be like for somebody with a disability.
You guys too. Come do a tour.
Yeah, definitely.
Garden City, come do a tour.
That's what I was going to lead into.
Would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we need to come down, and I've got a couple young kids that might need to come volunteer for you guys.
Awesome.
And,
that'd be awesome.
But
I can always use people to scoop some horse poop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brush
Yeah.
horses too. That too.
Well, it builds character, right? And
It
Yeah,
does,
absolutely.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Hard work never
yeah.
hurt anybody. In fact,
No.
it makes us all better.
Exactly.
I get some of my best thinking done when I'm scooping poop.
There you
so.
go. Yep. She's pretty much brilliant right now.
There you go.
Lots of experience with building
Lots
character.
of experience.
Yeah, definitely.
She's the next Einstein, guys. Look out. So
Yikes, yikes. Don't go too far.
well, awesome. Is there anything that we missed that you guys need to get out tonight? We didn't cover.
I don't think so. I did want to say
Okay.
we are supported by United Way.
Yep.
And United Way is doing their huge
Very closely.
campaign, and so we are
Give back to United Way.
Yeah, we love United
Yes.
Way. They do great things in our community, and for several other organizations around here as well. So
Yeah.
if you're supporting United Way locally, you're supporting us as well. So
Yep.
we really appreciate that.
Absolutely.
So if I'm an elderly person and I really can't get out and volunteer, do you guys take donations as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we actually, you can go on our website or on our Facebook page and donate through PayPal, or you can mail a check to P.O. Box 426 in Garden City. Everything, we will always give you a tax receipt. We also have a sponsor a horse program. So you can go on our website and you can pick out the horse that you love the most and send it in, and your name will be up on the board to sponsor that horse here in our big conference room. So that's also a great way to give back.
And so if I sponsored a horse, I'd go to feed and the shoeing and dental Tuesday and
Everything.
all that
It takes
jazz.
about $150 a month for each one of our horses. And so all that goes to it. And then right now, especially, and we'll say this, and my phone might die. So if we do that, I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine.
So since we're about to start all of our lessons, we are in great need of, this is a great other way to donate. We're in need of paper towels, toilet paper, disinfecting spray and wipes, and hand soap and bottled water right now.
Mm-hmm.
And they can deliver it to 901 West Maple, or they can call 620-260-9997 and we'll facilitate a pickup.
Awesome.
If you can get us a flyer on that or some kind of advertising that you have on that, we'd be happy to share it on our page.
Yeah, I just put on
Absolutely.
Facebook.
Send it out
I'll
with
send it
us.
to you if that works.
Yep.
That'd be great.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Well, Carrie Ann and Makenzie, thank you so much for coming on the show tonight.
Thanks for having us. That was fun.
Yeah, it
That
was
was
a lot of fun.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll have to come down and do a live or some
Please
recording
do.
down there and
Oh, my
learn a little
goodness.
bit more about the program.
Come
and,
back. Come for the back the blue. Do a live down here.
yeah,
We'll
that
have
would
some
be cool.
Horses and lots
That
of
would be
food. We'll feed you, and it'll be a great time.
Awesome. And what was the date on the back of the blue again?
September 26th from 1 to 4. And this is we're feeding all the officers and their families if they're off. But obviously, you guys will be special guests of ours.
Well, my mom works for the Highway Patrol, so I might be able to sneak in
See,
with
there
her,
you go.
too.
There you go.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yep.
So just real quick again, 17th and 19th, we've got classes coming up for volunteers at Miles of Smiles. They are desperately in need of
Yes.
volunteers down there. They'll take as young as 12, I believe, with a parent.
14.
12.
Well,
14.
12 with the parent. Yeah.
12 with the parent.
12,
14.
13 with a parent, and then 14 without a parent. It's a good program to get youth involved in, good networking. They learn some social skills while they're down there cleaning and,
Oh,
and
absolutely.
doing, and that responsibility and accountability comes in handy. So definitely get a hold of them. Phone number was 620-260-9997. What was the website again? Because that was a mess.
Miles-of-smiles.org.
Miles-of-smiles.
Smiles.org.
Okay. .org. Paper towels,
Easy,
hand
it's
sanitizers.
easy peasy. Yep.
Yeah, it really is. Miles-of-smiles. It really does remind me of the 90s. Remember we all had the
It does,
underscores in our
right?
emails and
Here, our email. It's even better.
Our emails even now.
Yeah, some underscores. In
We got
there.
underscores.
yeah, there.
You know, the
replace
dash
our
kind of,
dashes.
they kind of have a nice cadence to it. It's, Miles dash smiles dash.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
a
you
ring,
could write a
like we should make a song.
Yeah.
a jingle
Maybe
or
next
whatever they
time you
call
guys
it.
come
Jingle
here, we'll
for
have
it.
like a little See, she was just telling me we need to do TikTok. I've never done this or barely heard of it.
There you
We could
go.
do like a little Miles of Smiles TikTok about
I
our.
bet Derek could probably hook us up if we asked Derek.
Yeah,
Derek,
we-
I heard that.
well,
Maybe
yeah.
There
Well,
you
hey,
go.
she knows
you know, if
Derek,
you-
so
I heard you say you're trying to get out there. Social media back home is the company for that. We'd love to help you out with that.
Perfect.
So hit us up
perfect. There you go.
Yeah.
for that as well. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you. We
Yes.
know you're dying in that barn. It's so hot here today.
It's not too bad. I'm more
Now
worried
it's-
about the phone dying.
Yeah, the
right
phone's
now.
about
Right.
to die, but no, thank you for having us on. That was a great time. We
Yep.
appreciate you.
Yep,
Yeah.
we will definitely be in touch down the road. Thanks, guys, so much.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
guys.
Have a
good
great night.
Bye
You
bye.
too.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right.
Organization, man. They do a
Yeah.
lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, I'm. I've got a couple of younger kids. One of my younger kids would love to learn to ride. He probably wouldn't fit the criteria too much, but maybe so. A lot of kids have anxiety these days, especially with COVID going on. And school and all the new changes and things like that. But even still, the volunteering I think would be great. Just as a learning experience. I was lucky enough to grow up. My grandparents had a farm, so I grew up around animals and having to get up and take care of them and all those things. But my kids haven't, and so just that volunteering I think would be just life skills that you pick up. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and there's just something about petting a horse or, brushing just an animal in general. There's so many things that are, it just works with trauma. Trauma is an area that I'm just fascinated with. And, in that area of equine and just animals in general, I think is just such a cool thing. To be able to do. And when she talked about their Veterans with PTSD program getting ready to kick off too, I think that would be an amazing program for them to have, and so many people that are in need of that too. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they develop, and I think we should definitely go down there and
that Back the Blue event sounds fun. I'd love to go down there and be a part of that and share that with our audience. And then definitely would love to spend some time just learning about, seeing the horses and what the volunteers do and just kind of what they go through down at Miles of Smiles and sharing that out with our audience. I think that would be just make me smile for a mile. So
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight on Growing Garden City. We've got some good guests coming up down the road. J&J Autoplex. They've been working with us. They're going to be on with Approved Auto Sales, Marcos Nigeria, here in the next week or two. I just went blank on who we've got coming up, but
we've got a lot.
The new brewery. They'll be on here soon. Colin Williams and. I'm losing names. It must be ready. It must be bedtime, right?
I think so. It's after 9. Anything after 9 anymore is almost bedtime. So
yeah, we had a great busy weekend with all the great weather. So anyway, we want to wish everybody a happy beginning to school here in Garden City. Good luck to all the teachers, janitors, coaches, all staff at USD 457. I want to say good luck to all the kiddos that are watching. Have a great school year. Do the best you can. And we'll see you next time.
Thanks for all you guys do. Keep growing Garden City. We'll see you next week.
Well, I don't think it, I thought it, that's different. I said what I said and I meant it, or lamented. Words given weight without thought in a person, the way that I talk and the way that I ought to be able to pause and to say that the fault can be placed on my arms, to this playful assault, to disgrace in its arm. Pray for the day they could wait for the calm. You can't control the storm, only weather it, whether it's 5 weeks and 5 days of rain sideways, or scorched earth, search for death or water left with all the thorns, with the petals gone, settle on the breath of autumn. If the ground fits, wear it, the crown fits. If the crown fits, wear it. If the crown fits.
Yay! That was fun.
Woohoo! You know what? I think that went really smoothly.
It did. You know, no outline, no nothing. We just there wasn't a
Just
lot of
went with it.
ums and you know what I mean? Like
But you know what? It was fun.
it was. I enjoyed it. They were great guests.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah,
I'm
definitely.
thinking, because I was gonna do one of the what's wrong
Yeah, no.
videos.
You sent that message and I was like,
And-
oh yeah.
with trauma and the effects of trauma and working with animals. Oh my gosh, perfect.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many different people here in town that I think you could get to, you could have 2 or 3 people come on and talk about it maybe if you wanted to.
Yeah,
Or a series of episodes.